So what is BitTorrent? BitTorrent is an application on either your phone or your computer that can be used to download a torrent. Now, a torrent is a type of file that utilizes a different way of communicating with servers in order to download whatever file you desire. So let's say that you're just doing an average download, not using a torrent, off of a Google search, and you find that there's this document that you need for whatever project you might have, and that it's on this one server somewhere across the world. It could be in Colorado, it could be in New York City, it could be in Chicago, it could be all the way in India. And then over here is your computer. Now, from your computer, you want to connect across the internet with a single path to this server. Now, this usually isn't an issue, but a lot of problems can arise from just one single connection from your computer to that server. Say if you're using a very popular website, or maybe your neighborhood is having a lot of internet activity on Friday night, perhaps. Now, you might encounter what is called like a bottleneck. A bottleneck limits your speed because bandwidth is being taken up by so many people in a specific area from the ISP. Now, this can be an issue where extreme cases of bottlenecks might even cause the download to cancel or internet connectivity to be failed. Now, what also might happen is that the server might become disconnected or go offline. And so this connection can no longer happen, and you can't download the file anymore. You can't download the document no matter how urgent it might be. So a way around this is using a torrent, which can overcome a lot of these issues. Now, a torrent is a protocol by which it starts out like an average download on, let's say, a single server. It doesn't have to necessarily be a server, but let's say it is. So on this server, we're going to use a torrent to download a music CD from our favorite artist. So on this server is that music CD. So you decide to download it using a torrent and not like an average download off of an internet search. So you download the .tor or torrent file, and then you run it in BitTorrent. Then BitTorrent then communicates with this one server, and you start to download the file, and slowly but surely, in bits and pieces, the music CD makes its way to your computer. And since you're the first person to download it, it might take a little time because of the same network issues of an average download, because you're just the first person to use it. And eventually, hopefully, it'll be a fast enough connection, and soon, by the end of the day, you might have your music CD. Now, from this, the torrent automatically updates your computer and your location as another host. So now you've got a connection. You've got a connection to the server, and now whoever else wants to download the CD in the world can also connect to both the original server and you. And from this allows for bits and pieces, tiny bits and pieces of the file to be transmitted from you to that computer and from the original server to that computer. And what makes this so good and well designed of a protocol is that it allows for better speed, because you usually with 2 connections there's less of a chance there's going to be a bottleneck, and then with 3 connections it's even less, and 5, and then 500 and 1,000 there's much less chance of a bottleneck. So the best speed for download will be designated by the torrent. And so once this third person has the music CD, now they're all connected, and then there's another person that wants to use and download this music CD, and they also want to listen to it. So they connect to your computer, they connect to his computer, they connect to the server. And so all these connections are transmitting the little bytes, literal bytes of the CD to the person that's using the torrent. And then once they use it, they too host it. But all of a sudden, this server has to go offline. because of maintenance or power, or there's just not enough space to store the CD. So this server disappears. Now, normally with an average download, that leave you out of luck. But since all these computers connect to each other to download that file, someone else that wants to download the file isn't left in the dark anymore. And they are able to connect to this computer, the second computer, the third computer, and so on and so forth, which allows for virtually guaranteed speed of a download, whereas with an average download you have a great chance of a bottleneck. And it also allows for much more efficient downloading, whereas because you're downloading it in small bits and pieces, unlike an average download, you can pause it and continue it. So you might be asking, well, if it's just downloading the bits, why do I need 1,000,000 bytes of this audio CD? What am I going to do with that? Well, the torrent automatically knows where to place each byte of the CD, as if it's in like a huge puzzle piece, eventually creating one whole music CD, united as one, stitched together by the torrent. And so this allows for a greatly efficient and highly innovative way to download files, both big and small. And the same amount of efficiency is used, and it encourages a peer-to-peer connection, instead of saying, I'm going to travel halfway across the world to go try to download a file and maybe ultimately fail and be left with disappointment. That's how a torrent works, and that's how it is. Simple as that.